The toughest part about this training session is the start time.
We have to get up at 6 o'clock every morning.
What about the night before? Do you have to go to bed early to wake up at 6?
Yeah, we got to go to bed early. Go to bed at like 7.
7?
Oh, I'll go to bed at 7 anyways.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Burn up those chicken legs of yours and get those big tree trunks, boys, and get in there and smash them.
Why is it so important to get them up early in the morning?
So it deters them from wanting to walk the streets late at night, causing crime.
And does it work?
Yes. We don't have a lot of crime from the kids that participate in football.
How do you reach the kids who don't come here? How do you get those kids in?
So it is a struggle because they're very disconnected, but we don't stop. It's just through different avenues, so it's more one-on-one.
Of Moree's 9,000 residents, almost 22% are Indigenous, many of whom live in the city's southwest. In daylight, parts of the town feel chaotic. Nights can be terrifying, with some of the worst crimes filmed and shared by those committing them. Susan Brooker and her husband Shane were attacked as they slept.
Young youths smashed our front window and door, caved it in so they could get inside, and rushed in, knocked me down, hit me with a knife in the back of my head, and kicked and punched me until I was unconscious.
They eventually made their way into our bedroom and found my handbag and threw me up against a wall and took off out the front of the house.
In a town where more than 50 agencies are on hand to help the community, Susan Brooker is trying to work out what's gone so wrong. She's mapped out the problem on her whiteboard.
So after we had our home invasion, I started to think pretty widely about why we have all of these problems. The thing that's really overlooked in all of the narrative is the effect of drugs long term on the social structure in our communities.
This is far more complex than a simple crackdown on crime.
From my perspective, I think that a punitive approach is not the answer. I think a compassionate approach is the answer.
We've got to start somewhere. We've got to draw the line in the sand. So let's do something. Don't talk about it, throw money. The money's not doing it. You've got to actually do something.
Crime is a big problem in many regional towns across the nation. But New England and the Northwest is the only part of New South Wales that has seen an increase in robberies and break-ins over the past 5 years. In the last year alone, Moree Plains has seen a spike in those crimes, as well as car theft.
We've got young people that are committing violent crime and they're repeating repeated violent crime. It's constant. And there's been a fear in the community here in Moree. We need to show that there's some deterrence in respect to this.
That deterrence has come in the form of the riot squad, with a high visibility police operation making dozens of arrests.
Police, FBO, open the door!
The state government's response includes a controversial trial of new bail laws to make it easier for magistrates to keep repeat offenders aged between 14 and 18 in custody, as well as a new crime and 2-year jail term for people who post their crimes online.
It's only a very small percentage. It's only ever a very small percentage. You're talking less than 1%, you know, that can cause this violent crime.
To play devil's advocate, couldn't you just go and arrest that small group of people, throw them in jail, problem solved? It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as just throwing people into jail. Right, jail's not the answer all the time.
What's life like for kids growing up here?
I think they deserve better.
Michaela Cochrane is a local councillor and Gomeroi woman who grew up in South Moree and has watched it deteriorate.
There was so much more infrastructure and parks down this end of town, and we sit here today with paddocks with dead grass. Like, what can us as services and government be doing to provide better opportunities? Like, I feel like we're letting young people and their families down.
Youth crime is a fiendishly complex problem. It's much bigger than Moree, and it makes life miserable for white and black alike. Here's just one example. There is a housing crisis here, and yet the homes that are here are regularly burned to the ground. Here in Indigenous South Moree, there are more than 50 charred ruins like this, and many more vacant blocks where the derelict homes were long ago cleared away.
It makes you feel so sad, you know, living here now what's happening. Not the same, Moree. No.
How's it changed?
With the crime rate, with the thieving and breaking in and stealing and all that, yeah.
This woman says her 12-year-old son fell in with the wrong crew. He'd disappear from home each evening.
We didn't even know who he was with, so he just got out, yeah. Sometimes he'll jump out the window just without us knowing. Like the coppers will come to my house 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, wake us up, saying that my son is under arrest while we're, you know, still in bed, asleep, and he's under arrest.
And did that happen once or lots of times?
I'll say about three times.
And why do you think he was doing it?
I wouldn't have a clue, but I think that because he was bored. There's nothing here. There's nothing here for him. There's nothing at all for the youth around here. That's probably why they all do it. There's nothing at all whatsoever.
If you were on the outside, right, I want one single file line here.
We regularly meet with the parents of these at-risk children to be able to engage with them, to be able to give them some strategies on how to deal with their child.
District Inspector Phil Maligan says the role of the local police is much broader than simple law enforcement.
If the police are out there engaging with the community and the youth in a positive way, and we're constantly doing that, and they're seeing that the police are out there and they build those relationships up with the police, we are seeing the crime drop. And that's what it's about, and that's what we're doing here in Moree.
Yeah, this area is South Moree, social housing commission homes.
3 nights each week, this bus helps Moree's children get home. This boy went to a friend's place after footy practice.
Hello.
Hello.
Most of the time, kids, when you take them home, they'd stay home. But of late, probably the last more so, 8 to 10 years, the kids, you drop them home 1 minute and they're back on the streets the next. Because if you've got kids at that stage doing things that they shouldn't be, and serious actions that they've taken, there's got to be something deeper what's going on in their lives and our community in general.